Yes. This is Tom Vandermolen from Vintage Gold Cup Live. When you retire, you're going to join our cast full time.
There you go.
You're in. Be like Tony Romo. This is going so well already.
Morning.
Good morning.
I almost wore my hat from last year. I love that hat. I wear it all the time.
I do too. I work out in it. Like I play tennis and I like a run in it. I do everything in it.
Hat.
Guide in it.
Yeah. It's a good one.
Raced in Miami all winter with it. Stayed on my head. All right. I want to get going about 8:30ish.
Yeah, I'm ready. So we'll get this pulled out. What we'll do is we'll either might do what I did yesterday where we'll let him go with the live stuff and I'll record, and it's a faster transition for me to be able to edit.
Okay.
You get some good sleep?
No.
No?
No. No. I don't sleep, Ray. I'm a 60-year-old man. pee a lot and I don't sleep
You do pee a lot.
and I'm grumpy. No, I do pee a lot.
You do. I know it.
It's terrible.
All the time.
I don't drink enough water. Not
Where's
close.
that sugar been?
Terrible.
Has it?
Like the worst it's ever been.
Why?
Because I'm just checking out for a while. I was super healthy for the Camino, right? I was at a pretty good weight, 190. I was fit. I was yoga fit. I was, my feet were good. And then I just got back from that. And literally have nothing on my calendar. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to eat chocolate all day. I'm not going to the gym anymore. But I do play tennis and pickleball.
Doesn't count.
What do you mean doesn't count? I got to lift weights.
You gotta eat good.
I know.
For you, eating is a big thing.
I know. I eat bad. So literally been eating ice cream. It's terrible. Drinking a lot. Just checked out. But I go through this every year. And then in the spring I get all fired up and then I get all ripped and shredded. And
I thought Vegas would help you being in the warm climate year round.
but some reason in the fall I just kind of, I'm
Come home.
well, and I get, and then like in the spring I'm standing on the scale constantly and I'm worried about my weight and sometimes it's a restrictive world, and I was kind of like punching out of it.
Yeah.
At 207 pounds. Maybe more, Ray. There's the bacon. Okay, that's good work. 2 plates. Holy shit. Is that 5 pounds?
5 pounds, my friend.
Did you have some?
What's
Did
that?
you taste two, don't you?
I kind of do.
Okay,
We'll have
go for
one.
it. You gotta have one. Good work.
Bacon's like potato chips. You gotta have more than one.
Oh yeah.
All right, where is Steve?
You're about 8:28.
Need anything else right now?
I think
Doing good?
we're set up perfect. Thanks. Good work. Very good work.
Awesome.
Greatly appreciate it. Hi, Fred.
Good morning. All right. Bacon.
Kind of the same talk as yesterday.
It didn't
Okay.
get recorded.
Huh?
It
None of what we did, very little of what we did yesterday got recorded, so we did a run through. So it's going to basically be the same show. Instead of Donnie, we're going to interview McCausland and Arthur about surviving Hurricane Ian. That's pretty good.
But
Right?
your weather could
Yeah.
lead right into that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I found out McCausland was living in the Rotunda because I was down there last year, staying with Jack Steen and Sarah, and Jack had arranged a golf match. So we went out in the golf, and I had something having to do with sailing. I don't know, one of the guys I didn't know said, "Are you a sailor?" And I said, "Yeah." What boats do you sail? Star boats and 210s. And he said, "Oh, my neighbor's a star sailor." I said, "Really?" Yeah, who's McCausland?
All right.
Just like your story in
So
Europe
Fred,
or whatever, you just
so
never know where
Fred,
you run into.
You're going to plug your weather report. Fred, give us a quick update on the weather. Today it's going to be partly cloudy, wind south, whatever it is. And then boom, right back to me. And then we're going to wait for your report kind of toward the tail end, like the 20 after mark, like a normal news
I'll put it
station
in
would do.
context of racing.
So we'll kind of be plugging you,
Okay. Okay, works.
Yeah.
And is that pronounced Sin, you said?
Sunni.
Sunni.
Oh, God. Dooney. Where is Steve? Why is no one here?
Yeah, he's not normally late.
He's always late. He
He's
does this
always
to me
late.
on purpose.
Yeah.
He's always here 2 hours early, Tony, just to make you feel comfortable.
Good morning.
Arthur, you're on shortly. Go find your partner. Go find your partner in crime. We're not on yet. What time is it?
It's almost 8:30.
5 minutes. Okay, I'd like to be ready to go in 5 minutes. You know, last night when I said that and you said yes, sir, it was actually 20 minutes. Are you sure we're good? Brett?
See, Ray's got
Can you hear me?
Ray's got the gnome thing going with the hat on.
Oh, God, Ray. If it's the mullet or the beard, I mean, holy shit.
I need to get the mullet back. I do.
And he's teaching our youth.
Yeah. No, I'm done now. But I do have kindergarten. I'm substitute teaching kindergarten next week.
I mean, what do you talk to him about? Riding the carriage around the farm and
Push-ups like every 5 minutes. Like, all right, guys, stop, give me 10.
drop and give me 10.
You might
Gets the energy
Did
out
you
of
tell
him.
him you were the
trivia
trainer of the best trainer in Michigan? Elected, voted, #1. I didn't vote for you.
Oh, and male nude model too. Remember that?
Not true.
That would go over good for the school
I
system.
didn't vote for you.
I do trivia. I ask them questions that are impossible for them to get right. And then make them do push-ups and they get wrong answers. And then they stop asking questions. They stop talking.
Right, that's exactly what you want to teach in school.
and it's
No more
quiet.
Get your
questions.
bacon here.
Get your making bacon.
Boy.
They do have the breakfast sandwiches up and running up there, and the
Oh, they
coffee
do?
already. Yes.
All right.
They're probably not as good as yours though.
Did you bring some?
At the 210.
You know, we don't have lunch. You guys have lunch?
No.
Somehow I think you'll end up with a lunch.
That stuff's too good.
I have a feeling my boat's not going to end up with a lunch. Sycamore, you better get on that.
Is that apple cider? Or what is that?
It's rum.
Is it rum?
Tea.
Jack,
Little enforcement.
Jack Daniels and apple cider. It's not tea. Look at him.
Ready to go live?
About 20 minutes.
Where's Steve?
20 minutes. You said 8:30. It's 8:28.
You guys really know how to put me through a roof, don't you?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I don't see anything set up. Not a phone, not a recording, nothing.
It's right there. All he's got to do is plug that in.
Well, I'd say let's get it ready.
Well, where's Steve? Did you text him? Maybe he's still trying to get the blue face paint off.
I was gonna say he was talking about the process he went through to put it on. I was like, did you think about the taking off part?
Yeah, you didn't use real
Hey
face
Siri,
makeup?
call Steve Tickner.
That is a wood mask.
Fuck
Holy
you.
smoke.
Siri. Oh, they put up a flag. Who put up a flag? That should be done.
Are you going to be in the show this morning, or should we just start without you?
You said 8:30.
Thanks
Hey,
for
why'd
looking
you
at the
not hear-
7 pages of notes I made for you.
What time is it?
It's
7:30.
8:29.
Exactly.
And 30 seconds.
Is that him?
Okay. Well,
I left my red carpet.
you know the show fucking starts at 8:30, right? Like,
Well, I left my red carpet that we did not use at the golf course.
Oh, so Patty said
So
get
I
it.
have to go get that. And I'm 3 minutes away.
there's no more bacon either. Hurry up and get here. Bye.
Is there food?
Talking about Siri, one day, it was on a Saturday, we had to be It's already being returned.
Social,
One of those dangle pockets?
Yeah, it's like a ball sack.
social events.
Are we live?
There's social.
No, not that.
It'd be funny if we were.
There's
Well,
social
that's what I
events
told
right
him,
there,
'cause
Steve.
Last year I just reported
Yeah.
everything. Then
Your host, along with Steve Tickner, Bill Sickema, and Fred
We're a
Einspire.
little late because
morning.
Tommy didn't show up on time.
Yep.
So
We
that's
were
why
here
we're-
at
That's why we're
5
starting
a.m.
now.
Okay, thank you
How
very
about
much
some
for
bacon?
that. For the next 3 days, you guys, we're going to be trying to bring you live coverage of the Vintage Gold Cup. It's a very special event. We're taking some of the best sailors in the world and putting them in these amazingly beautiful boats sitting right down in the parking lot below us. The sailors are just starting to roll in. Fred, the weather looks, it's supposed to get windy. Normally we're talking about light wind on Gull Lake, but
It is. We're going to have 3 days of air that's going to be right on the borderline of being a little too much for these boats. So it's going to be strong from the west today.
okay. So you guys, when we talk about the Vintage Gold Cup and we get to meet all these sailors, there are really 4 elements that we talk about, right? The sailors, the friends, the level of competition is huge. The social events, historically at Gull Lake, have been amazing. And then we've got the boats that are such a story. They are so beautiful. They've all been redone, and you'll have plenty of shots of those. And then the venue itself is amazing, and Gull Lake Country Club and Gull Lake Yacht Club. Well, I'll start with the sailors. I mean, we've got 24 teams from around the world. You've got teams from Brazil. You've got teams from Sweden. You've got teams from Canada. You've got Thomas Hornos, who's a USA citizen, but I think he's still Argentinian too. So you've got a good international flair. You've got 5 teams from California, 3 teams from Florida. You've got teams from New York and Illinois and Ohio, so all over the country. And really what makes this amazing is, the level of the competition. So there's actually 6 foods, Mark Reynolds, Paul Kayard, Ross McDonald, George Szabo, John McCausland, and Lars Grail. So right there, I mean, you've got 6 world championships in a fleet of 24. I was looking at the Worlds finishes in Marblehead that were just took place, and we've got like six of the top 20 are sailing here.
Wow.
So that just tells you the level of competition. Steve, they had to push this regatta back into the fall a little bit because of the Worlds, but October sailing here is actually pretty good.
Yeah, historically we've had some cool regattas. I remember in high school we had a lightning regatta here in October, and it was like 80 degrees. So, yeah, it never disappoints. A little chilly this morning. The bacon's cold, but still good. But we're good.
Yep.
We've got a good crew, good team, good everything.
All right, good to go on Steve's end. When we talk about the social event, Steve, we've got a pretty packed, action-packed week planned. We were at Stoughton Bray last night.
Yep.
We did have some technology issues there. We're trying out some new stuff. So I think we got some stuff posted from the party, especially that speech from Don Parpet, which was amazing. But what else we've got going this week?
Well, I think William Wallace was the hit of the party last night.
Well,
Not
yeah,
gonna lie, I don't see him around here yet this morning. I'm sure he's going to show up. He may be in battle.
He was
But,
swinging weapons.
He was. He had an axe. I was scared of that guy. But tonight we're going to be about 2.5 miles north of here at the Gilmore Car Museum. Cars, and more cars. It's going to be fun. I think there's going to be entertainment. Not sure.
And I think we get to drive the cars.
And we get to drive the cars. Hopefully it's not too cold and whatever oil they use in those old things doesn't seize up. But
You know, last year every car I got into broke down.
seems to
The
be-
last one that broke down, it was the third one. Me and Ray are running away because we don't want to be associated with
it'll
it.
blow up.
Literally, stop running. We're running. The third one, we're running. We're like, okay, let's get out of here.
Good time.
We're banned from there.
It's going to be a good time. The food last night was awesome.
Yep.
Not sure what they're serving tonight, but it'll be great.
Okay. Billy, we're talking about boats too. The magic of this event are these old boats, all vintage boats, all built between really in the 50s and the 60s. But the earliest boat I think was built in
1932.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing, and of course, John takes care of these and rebuilds them all. But the oldest boat is from 1932, hull number 924, and that's being sailed by Mike Hecky and our own local Michael Brundage as crew. So that he's going to have a blast out there, and hopefully it doesn't get too windy for that boat.
yeah.
You know? The newest boat,
Is that the one that has a wood mast? Who is it?
I think there's two that have wood
Okay.
masts here. But the newest boat is actually from 1973, hull number 5805, which is a Duplin, and sailed by Lars and Iso. So they're gonna do really well out there.
Yeah.
That's a good team.
I think
that's
that's
amazing.
a very good team. Of course, a former world champion there with a good crew, so that they will be fun to watch. And when we were going through the boats, it's interesting how the old Greenwich companies got 9 and Lippincot's got 8. So that rivalry is going to continue. And we're going to try to bring you we're going to give you updates in the racing and how different Team Lippincott might be doing or Team Old Greenwich. So, and of course the Greenwich boats were all, those were Skip
Yeah.
Etchel's designs.
We have two that were constructed by.
That guy's. I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know if he jumped on and it knocked me off or what. It just kicked me off. Sorry.
That was one of our worst shows yet. What's happening? Are we still going?
Did you go on the live?
I did not. I stayed off of Facebook.
Are we
I'm not sure what happened there.
being recorded?
Not right now.
So what do you really think?
Did your phone? Going to be V stars for Vandermolen stars now. Those
Yep.
Since he's
Renamed
recreated them,
Yep.
John has gone through them. They are now V stars.
Okay, V Stars. And they've been sailing starboats on Gull Lake for a long time, Fred. And talk about the Gull Lake Country Club and this venue for this type of regatta, and what do you think?
Well, the starboats have been the major fleet that's survived almost since the beginning of the yacht club, which was in 1926, and the Star Fleet here was chartered in the 30s. So it's been over 90 years that stars have been sailing on this lake. So there's quite a tradition in families and other individuals. Your grandfather sailed stars on this boat.
He did. He sure did.
So it's a big deal, and the yacht club has been focused on one design racing since its inception. Included power boats. They raced power boats in this lake for a number of years. So quite a tradition. The lake itself, the competitors are going to be trying to discover the secrets of this lake. All inland lakes have shore effects. Gull Lake is just a little over a mile wide, so there are going to be marks near the shore. Particularly, we have a west wind today that may back a little. So, given that, it's going to be impossible at time when the back actually occurs. But if someone gets their port tack out of the way, going upwind first, they're gonna get a big left-hander and get a big lift on the other tack going up the port.
Yeah, I think it's with this wind and this pressure, it's going to be very fun racing, very even racing. Okay, you guys, of course, the program is brought to you by Map Strategic, Nexus Green, Gull Lake Marine, Doyle One Design, and of course Quantum, and then International Network Solutions. Without them, they are experts in their connectivity. Without them, we couldn't do any of the show. So thank you, Industrial Network Solutions. Okay, coming up after this, we're going to bring in Arthur Anisoff and John McCausland to talk about their experience with Hurricane Ian. We'll be right back. All right, good work. Good
Right
work.
back with Eichel, Bob.
Slide. All right, let's get...
Uh-oh. Good job, Billy.
All right, so you guys, we're just going to talk about kind of Hurricane Ian. I think it's a very
Sure.
interesting story. I talk to you guys all the time about sailing. You're here all the time, so we're just going to change up. It's a good human interest story.
Not a problem.
I was thinking about, I felt like texting. I'm like, that's stupid. They will not get a thing
Yeah.
from me.
We
Like,
didn't
keep your heads
get-
down.
We didn't get anything for 6 days where we were.
Yeah.
And one day I drove to go find gas or whatever, got to
Okay.
a point, I got like 60 texts in a row.
We got 70-degree weather from it, which is weird when it comes from that way. That's what happens up here. but Hurricane Ike, we got hammered. That was the North Americans that were up northern Michigan. Remember that?
Yes.
That weekend in September of, was it '08?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a hurricane that weekend.
Yeah. Well, Hurricane Ike hit wherever. Did it hit Florida? And then, remember when John had the North American?
Tell us when you're ready, then we'll start the thing to go.
Ready.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, and you've been live for 10 seconds.
Okay, back with Vintage Gold Cup Live. Steve Tickner along with Arthur Anisoff and John McCausland. We've got a good story with these guys today, Steve. You were actually in southern Florida when Hurricane Ian blew across the state. And I just kind of want to get your take, Arthur, on what was that like down there for that?
Well, I was with the boat at the shop. That's where, and for about 3 days, I didn't believe that hurricane will go our way. I guess denial was
Yeah.
going on for a long time.
Yeah.
So I kept. Well, the original track was more like closer to Panhandle. Then it started to move down, kind of towards to St. Pete, and even if it would go through St. Pete, wouldn't be a problem for us. So I keep pushing hurricane away until it definitely was going our way.
And
So,
John, this was one of your first hurricanes. Can you talk about the wind and
Yeah.
what was all that like for you?
Well, we're new residents to Florida. We've been there a couple of years. We haven't had any storms of any size at all. So, as Arthur said, Ian was coming. We knew we were trying to get prepared. We knew it was going to pass and go north of us, so we're hunkering down at our house. And one thing led to another. We probably decided a little late to leave, and here it comes. And had storm shutters up, and boy, oh boy, was it windy. It was loud, as everybody says. And with the shutters up, you can't see outside. And I'm very inquisitive and nosy, and I had to take a look outside. So I went out my side garage door,
Yeah.
and oh my God, what a vicious storm.
What kind of winds were you getting?
They
plus?
claim for 6 hours we had 150 knots.
Oh my God. I wouldn't even know what that felt like.
It was impressive.
And both of you survived it, thankfully. I know I was going to text you. I'm thinking, why am I doing this? That's just dumb. But then when you got plugged back in down there, you had multiple texts, both of you guys.
Absolutely.
yeah, we lost power for like 30 hours. You guys lost power for a week.
We had
like,
power. We had no power, no water, no internet for a week. Fortunately, our home survived quite well. Many others didn't. And we had all wind damage, not water.
Yeah.
South of us, Fort Myers Beach and all was water that created all the havoc. But it was interesting. It was almost a Category 5.
Yeah.
So a Category 1 or 2, I'm hanging out. I'm definitely going to stay.
Yeah. Until it changes.
Right.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks for joining Vintage Gold Cup Live. I know you've got a lot to do. Good luck in the racing.
Thank you.
And we'll see you probably when you get to shore this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
guys. Thanks
Good
for
fun,
coming.
guys.
All
Good
right, have
luck.
some bacon.
All right.
Doyle One Design, Quantum, Gull Lake Marine, Nexus Green, Map Strategic, all helping you bring this live. Now coming up next is Carl Shellbach,
Thank you, sponsors.
Principal Race Officer. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Hi, Carl.
Gentlemen,
Good morning.
good morning.
Good to see you again.
Likewise, as always.
So, Carl, we frequently, when we're on Gull Lake, we're talking about races and light wind. But this week looks like we're going to be looking at heavy wind.
we're getting a little more than we're used to, and we're getting a little more than it's possible that we'll get a little more, a lot more than we'd like.
Well, yesterday was windy. Oh,
yesterday the front came through, and like
Gale
that.
force.
We're actually talking with everybody this morning, and we'll look at the forecast. It's blowing really hard on the Big Lake right now.
Yeah.
And it's blowing about 6 to 8 knots here. We have a cutoff of 14 miles an hour, which is 12 and a quarter miles.
Yep.
12 and a quarter knots.
And that again is just for safety.
That's
These
for
wooden
safety.
boats.
Blow up.
Yeah.
It's they're they're at least 50-year-old boats that are made out of wood that dries and does its thing and all that. And I mean, the safety of the competitors is paramount, and the safety of the boats is definitely a close second. They kind of both go hand in hand. So we have a rule, a hard and fast rule, that if we see over 14 miles an hour for 2 minutes consistently, we're done.
All right. So, Steve, we're going to be monitoring the race committee with our radio and keeping up to date. And I'm sure you'll run a good. I know you've got a meeting to run too, Carl.
I do.
Thanks for stopping by, and
Pleasure's mine. Good luck, you
we will
guys.
absolutely talk
Thanks
to you
so much,
tomorrow
Steve.
morning.
All right.
I look forward to it.
Okay,
Have a
thank
great
you.
day, guys.
Rock
Good
and
luck.
roll.
So now we need to bring
Here
our
comes Mr.
cast
Tripster.
members back in with Bill and Fred.
You can sit over there. They got coffee up there?
Yeah.
Any food?
Fred is he's walking this way.
Okay, so Fred's on his way. I have a piece of bacon.
I've had 10 already.
This is a time, you guys, when we get to talk about who we think could win this regatta. And
Poke
man,
yard.
Is that your pick again?
He's going to win.
Why do you always get to pick first?
Because that's easy.
Well, what if I want KR?
This is like fantasy
can
football.
have
We
them
need
too
a
if you
need a draft or,
No,
or
wait,
an
no.
auction.
We need a draft board.
Yeah.
Well, we could do that.
We could arm wrestle for it. Whatever you want to do.
No.
All right, so you're really going to take KR. I don't
Yes,
blame you.
of
He's
course.
won, I don't know, has he won 3 or 4?
3 or 4.
And Danny's coming back, so
Yeah.
they're going to be very tough.
I
They
heard
got a
there
very
was
fast boat.
somebody was going to tie a bucket to KR's keel this
Someone
year.
might be doing that down
A
there.
bacon
he has
platter.
security. He has security down there.
Grease up the bottom with bacon.
Billy, who do you like in this?
You know, last year I went Team Arthur.
Yeah, I like that pick. He
And
was,
I got to do
third.
it again. He's got a little bit of a vengeance here to come back and actually win. He knows he disappointed us all last year.
Yeah.
We lost thousands of dollars on our
Thousands.
bets.
Well, I will tell you, I'm gonna go out on a little bit of a limb here and take Jim and Charlie Buckingham in the Ferrari boat. And those guys are Jim's sailing very well. I think he took an 11th at the Worlds in Marblehead. He's been racing really well. And I just think with Charlie on the boat, they're going to have that boat super dialed in. And so I'm going to take them. Not sure who Fred's going to take, but he's not here to eat the bacon with us. We can report that later.
Did you see the jib that your brother put in that boat? Are you sure you want to take that bet?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay.
Is it a 210 jib?
Those are smaller than the star jibs.
And of course, Steve, you are now a 4-time 210 national champion.
Mhm.
Congratulations on that.
As you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
No.
We
sailed-
won right here a couple months ago.
That was pretty fun, and we
It was
brought up.
about this cold.
It was about this cold.
Oh,
I
yeah,
agree.
it was. That was nasty.
All right, you guys. So again, our thank you to our sponsors: Industrial Networking Solutions, Doyle One Design, Quantum Sales, Gull Lake Marine, Nexus Green, and Map Strategies. Without them, we couldn't be putting this show on. Folks, we're going to head out on the water a little later on. The first race is scheduled for 11 o'clock. So when we get out there and get organized with our Bacon One, the drone, and Ray and our team, we'll be back to you with some live racing coverage.
We're going to go inside and warm up.
We're going to go inside and warm up.
There's Anastasia over there.
Tom Vandermolen and Steve Tickner, Bill Sikkema signing out.
All right.